A lot of people are using ChatGPT heavily. The goal is to go beyond that today. ChatGPT can do a lot of amazing things, but it's really just scratching the surface of what's possible, especially when we start thinking about agents and sub-agents. I'm a post-exit technical founder, coach, and advisor, and I'm a self-taught software engineer. I think a lot of people who don't come from the traditional path of maybe computer science or things like that, sometimes imposter syndrome can be a really big thing. There's no stupid questions. Please feel free to ask because odds are someone else is wondering the same thing. This is really around risk management. Okay. So lastly, then you get into the how. Okay, now that we've worked through all these different quadrants, let's get into the how can we prompt AI in the right way to get the output that we expect to be able to turn this into a client or turn this into a boss or whatever it is that you're trying to deliver in the day-to-day. When a company's trying to actually get ROI, or not even just a company, but an individual is actually trying to get some value out of AI, there's some problems and there are some solutions, fortunately. And so there's three big things. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And maybe that's one of the reasons why you're here. MIT just released a study today I saw that said 95% of AI projects flop, fail, and they're heralding Gen AI as a complete failure. If you knew nothing else about AI, these are the principles you want to really embody first. Make sure you're even working on the right problem and automating the right workflow. So if you can't prompt AI, if you can't ask a good question, you're not going to get good output. You're not going to get good answers. So good in, good out, garbage in, garbage out. And the last thing is just remembering AI is not magic. It's not a silver bullet. So we're going to talk about how to make it as powerful as possible, but it's not magic. And it all starts with what problem are we solving? And in the product development world, we use a framework called the job to be done framework. If you want to learn more about that, just ask an LLM. You need to define what good looks like, right? What does it look like when the job is done? Those are your outcome metrics. But it also makes it easier to automate with AI, build out workflows that actually automate whole steps of that.
One is a pretty small software integration for an accounting firm that has gone very slowly because of the many consultants that they have in their process workflows. It feels like it's a potentially low effort way to test the tools.
I think this is actually a good example of the problem with that is way too abstract and squishy to be able to solve that with AI. So I want to teach through that example for everyone else, because that's a great example. It's almost like magical thinking. Like we're writing very little code by hand at this point. Pretty much all our teams, and these are venture-backed companies, the majority of the code, it's a lot like open source. So we're going to look at some of the workflows we've been using to keep teams like crazy small and ship a lot more. That's actually better test coverage, higher quality, closer to spec of design, all kinds of good stuff. I'm going to show you a workflow that we use to build like proof of concept, borderline MVPs in like days, like a day instead of weeks and months. The video overview is like, it's like a cheat code. It's like Cliff Notes. I wish I had this as a student. I probably wouldn't have learned anything. So you can actually hit the button, and you can call in to the host and you can ask it questions. So basically you could dump in a ton of information, and now you have basically an audio tutor that you can ask questions, as many questions as you want live. A lot of people think Claude Code is just for writing code, but I think the like biggest secret right now is that anyone can use Claude Code, and the founder will have just like a random idea. And there was a time when that was like annoying, when like the CEO or the founder would be like, got an idea. And you'd be like, oh, what am I going to have to build now? I would potentially pay $1,000 a month for Claude Code if it stayed as good as it does. It's an agent. It's like agents all the way down. It's very meta, and Claude can use Claude, and it gets crazy. Be careful out there. You don't want to go too many Claudes deep.